everyone, Gaijin Goombah here, and holy cow, it's my 5-year anniversary of making content on YouTube! But with such a monumental occasion, I really need to cover something special.
How about why Japan is completely obsessed with high school?
Yeah! Joey the Anime Man, what are you doing here?
You invited me, remember? We did that collab video on Karoshi over on my channel, and so you wanted me to do one over here. So yeah, why not talk about why Japan's popular culture seems to revolve around high school? I mean, you actually taught high school over there, didn't you?
Well, yeah, in Mie Prefecture for 2 years teaching in the JET program, but I really could use your expertise when it comes to this, seeing as you live there right now.
Sure, man. Ought to be fun.
So, Japan, why are you so infatuated with high school? I could just take the low road and claim that you have this weird fetish for high school girls, but I've always had a hard time believing that. Because, when it comes to your video games and anime, you popularize high school years far and beyond the erotic.
Right? I mean, there's a plethora of anime like K-On!, Lucky Star, Clannad, Melancholia Suzumiya Haruhi, Daily Lives of High School Boys, Toradora, Kokoro Connect, and that's just to name a few off the top of the dome. I'm sure if I went through my actual anime list, I'd be able to come up with hundreds more.
And it's not just anime or even anime-based games either. Consider the game Love Plus, a dating sim with absolutely no connection to anime but has unbridled popularity. It's a game where you choose one of 3 high school ladies to go after, which sounds like your run-of-the-mill dating sim, but the twist here is that the most erotic you get in this game is tapping the screen to give your girl kisses. Not exactly the ultra-lewd content we expect from a game like this. But despite the lack of erotic content, Love Plus continues to be the most popular dating sim in Japan, to a point where even resorts who used to cater to newlywed couples now provide the same services for their male customers and their digital lovelies, providing them amenities for 2 people as well as creating special AR cards so that the couples can take pictures with each other. There was also, remember, that Tokyo resident Sal 9000 that actually married his chosen girl Nene, in a ceremony that brought both understandable happiness and unbelievable astonishment to not just Japan, but the world at large. But let me remind you, there is no erotic content in this game. Must have been for a boring wedding night. So what is it that made this game so incredibly popular despite the clear lack of oppai and oshiri? Simple. It reminds them of better days. In many of the articles that interviewed players of the game, many of them said that dating a digital high school girl wasn't a matter of personal fetish, but a way they could remember their high school days, back when life was happier. See, whereas college for us in the US was our last hurrah of partying, flirting, learning, and overall expanding our horizons in ways we enjoyed, in Japan, that's high school. Granted, a good amount of kids in Japan do head off to college after high school, but if you thought college here was a joke... Anyway, most kids in Japan leave their senior year of high school and immediately start working, and while that may not seem like such a terrible thing, the expectation of their commitment to their job and their company is excruciating. In fact, we talk about that in your collab video, right, Joey?
Yeah, we discussed the effects of karoshi, or overworking to death, on not just the individual who is affected, but also an overall analysis of the Japanese workplace society, as well as the well-being of the future of Japanese society as a whole. How Japanese workers focus more on the amount of hours spent working rather than the quality of work that they put into each hour of the day.
So when you consider the fact that when most of these kids leave high school, they sell their lives to their employers, can you really blame them, even in their old age, for obsessing over the last time in their life they were ever able to really live their own lives outside of work? To put this in perspective, while I was visiting Japan, I had the chance to spend some time with my good friend Matt Papa, who acted as the Western localizer of Galgun, the moe rail shooter I've been voicing over, and interviewed him on why games that use a high school setting like Galgun sell so well.
So, what do you think is the fascination with high school specifically?
I mean, for me personally, I think a lot of like anime and stuff, and like takes place because I think for a lot of people here, high school is kind of like that prime of your life, sort of thing.
It was kind of like a last hurrah.
For some people, yeah, I think so for sure.
I remember a couple of my teachers would actually go look for work for my third-year kids.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Because a lot of them don't go to college.
Yeah, I mean high school's not even mandatory here.
Yeah,
it's like your mandatory schooling is up through middle school here. Mm-hmm. So even high school can be that's not like something that you have to do. So it's like I think for a lot of people, and that's just kind of like that's like the quintessential part of your life for a lot of people.
Look, I recognize there is a lot of troubling underage content when it comes to Japan's erotic media, and I do not condone it. At the same time, too, though, it's important to understand why things are the way they are. As I've said multiple times in this video, Japan's fascination of not just high school girls, but high school everything is built upon memories of relationships, experiences, and freedoms that they lose out on when they enter the life of a salaryman. My hardest of hardcore fans will remember that I've talked about this numerous times before, but I still can't stress it enough.
When times were simpler. In fact, there's even a specific word that is used in Japanese to describe the final and most grandest time of their lives. Seishun. As a man who's gone and spent his entire seishun in his own lifetime, if there were entertaining and diverse ways of reliving it in the safety and comfort of my own home, then I wouldn't hesitate to relive it, especially in the harsh reality that is the Japanese workplace. As long as these salarymen aren't going about reliving their seishun with actual high school boys and girls, I don't see why it's such a problem. I mean, you have to admit, some of these visual novels and dating sims are addictive as hell.
So I encourage all of you, be mindful of the things that you're critical of when it comes to not just Japan, but the entire world. What you might see as derivative or abnormal could very likely have a simple reasoning behind it. We just have to be thoughtful enough to understand the whys behind it if we're going to make a change in this world. But thanks for watching, everyone. A big thank you to my patrons who support the show, and a big thank you to Joey the Anime Man for coming on the show. Like we mentioned earlier in the video, together over on his channel, we talked about the concept of karoshi, Japan's real social issue of working people to literal death. If you like this topic, I promise you'll love that one as well. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of my newest cultural analysis videos. But until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.